Hey there, it's Inverse. 1 year later, and 200 mods being showcased, we have finally reached the end of the road for the RPG series. As usual, 40 mods will be showcased in this finale, and I tried to also add tiny but effective mods to the list. Now without any further ado, let's dive into the video. First on the list we have integrated Cataclysm, a mod intended to overhaul the visual and the functional side of the Cataclysm boss dungeons. You can notice the change right away, as the author also improved the exterior design of some of these structures. However, the real change happens as you enter some of these dungeons. There are create gates that open mechanically, carts moving around, new blocks used for decoration, and even new types of loot. The only problem with this mod is the performance. It does not work with Embedium as of now, and causes crashes and major lag in some structures. So sadly, I won't be adding it to our mod pack as of now. This mod is a refreshing project when it comes to adding corpses into Minecraft. Instead of just being a copy of your skin laid back, the corpse will adapt to the cause of death, be it penetrated by arrows, burnt alive, or even fall damage. There's another mod coming up that matches pretty well with this one, so stay tuned. Next up we have a mod that will make the world in Minecraft made out of islands. We are creating an RPG mod pack here, so having the option to create a pirate adventure or hardcore experience being stranded on an island is an incredible advantage. You can configure everything about this mod, even make it so that there is only one island in the entire world. This next mod is another supportive addition to our mod pack. It makes it so that by the time you get your 50th kill of any mob, you receive a flag with that entity printed on it. What I love here is that you can configure it so that some entities will require more or less kills for the flag to be delivered. The banners also provide special buffs, increasing your damage against the flagged mob, in addition to increasing the loot drop too. This mod is a perfect fit here, as it incentivizes you to fight the bosses and the monsters we added or will be adding next. Unearthed Journey is a mod adding 3 different dimensions to the game, all of which are centered around fictional dinosaurs and other organisms. The mob's quality is, and has been, the best I've ever seen. As you can see, each part of the animal is moving. You can sense the life in it, which makes all the difference considering there are many mobs across the 3 dimensions. These animals also have special behaviors, an instinct that will rule what to do and where to do it. In keeping with the mobs, there's a boss that you can fight. Methuselah is a big serpent with a predominantly ranged attack, spilling poison at you. Methuselah will also summon some stone guardians to fend you off. Some shoot from afar, others engage in close combat. Strangely enough, it exists on the overworld, not in one of the new dimensions. You can also create different kinds of armors and weapons, and being considerate of the nature of this terrain, the author has also designed a cruiser that will help you cruise the long rivers within these dimensions. At first, I could not get it. Why 3 dimensions? Why not just add these biomes on the overworld? And having done some research, I realized that the former is much better for the performance. A dimension won't load until you actually get there. A biome, however, will require the server to constantly manage and load its chunks, causing server lag and even crashes sometimes. As you may have known by now, this journey has been going on for a year, and the sole purpose of it is to come up with the ultimate RPG mod pack. Given the amount of hardship and fun experiences within the pack, trying it alone can bottleneck its potential, so multiplayer is recommended. One of the best server hosting I can vouch for is Wise Hosting, largely due to its mod pack installer. All you've got to do is write the name of the mod pack and then install it right away. There's also a mod and data pack installer too, unless you want more content or more functionalities. Also, one thing about our RPG mod pack is that it will support Fabric and for the 1.21 version. Luckily, Wise Hosting is also supportive of both Fabric and the latest versions of the game. Making the server here feels good, as you will be told what location is best for you, in addition to having lots of tutorials and if need be, even human assistance to sort out issues if they arise. As usual, you get a 25% discount for using my code ENDER. So for any purchase you make, no matter how big or small, you get to save a whole quarter of the price. Use Wise Hosting now to enjoy any of my modpacks, or any modpack for that matter, with your friends. Next up, we have 2 mods counted as one. First, there is Sleep Rework, which will add a tiredness meter on your GUI. Tiredness will govern whether you can or cannot sleep. As you maximize it, phantoms will start to appear, and it can't go beyond 500%. In addition, there is Comforts, which will have a hammock and a sleeping bag. We are focusing on the sleeping bag for this modpack, as it will help us sleep anywhere on the fly without resetting our spawn point. Set Sleep Rework mod allows you to sleep only when you are tired enough, and Comfort will make that functionality even better, as you can just lay a sleeping bag to rest and refresh anywhere. This next addition is not a mod, it's a resource pack. Blinking in their eyes will do just that. It is relevant to our modpack because it supports the Eyes of Ender from the End Remastered, a mod which we already added in past episodes. Expect a couple more packs on this list, as they will help us elevate the visuals of many mods we added earlier. Just a Slingshot is a fun little mod that will allow you to fling all sorts of items onto other mobs. I added the mod because it helps us do things like shoot explosive fireballs, much like the cats do. There are 2 things I wish the author would do. First is to obviously update the pack. It hasn't received a single update for almost a year now. And second, to enhance the outlook for the Slingshot. Maybe give it a 3D animated outlook. Though this last task can be carried out by resource pack archers too. Extra Alchemy is a mod that will add a couple of new potions to the game, in addition to new containers and different ways you can use the potions. Apart from the cool new effects you can get, the mod stood out to me as a valid option because of its potion bag feature. This bag is not a mere storage solution. It can be tweaked to give you potion effects automatically, or you can just use it manually and browse over any effect, then utilize it on the spot. In RPG playthroughs, you are almost always nomadic and visual. You don't settle anywhere, so having something like a bag for potion effects will help us traverse the new biomes and dimensions safely and more effectively. ShineaL's Prehistoric expansion is another mod adding extinct creatures. Some of them are real, others are not. This mod also made new biomes as natural habitats for the new creatures. However, now they are part of the overworld instead of being in another dimension. The mobs' behaviors are unpredictable. Some of them can feature a passive nature, harming no one. Others are the same in this regard, only they won't back down when provoked. And some creatures will attack you on the spot. There are also new items you can craft from the raw materials dropped by some of these creatures. I was introduced to the mod all the way back in 2023, and it was certainly smaller and less popular than it is right now, which is delightful to see. Piglin Proliferation made changes to the piglins in the game, empowering them with new types of weaponry they can use, in addition to diversifying the appearances of the zombified piglins based on their origin. The mod has also added 2 new piglins. They will trade some very unique items, even brand new items such as the Traveler's Compass. The mod is quite awesome for enhancing exploration, but in a natural way, by only utilizing vanilla concepts. This next mod will make the crosshair either invisible or different based on what you're looking at. This mod is great for immersion, and is also very useful for beginners, telling you what kind of block your tool is capable of mining. This is actually a combination of 5 different mods by the same author. The Nebulus Trees are giant plants that you can come across occasionally. These trees hold no treasures or enemies you must fight, but they provide a wild touch to the terrain, especially when paired with something like Distant Horizons or a bushy leaf texture pack, though the latter affects the performance, so be careful. Next up, we have a new boss fight mod added to our mod pack. Mocha's complicated bosses will add 3 new enemies to fight. Each uses different attacking patterns and feature different outlooks based on their origin. The Skeletal Sorcerer is the most well-made boss in this mod in my opinion, Dread being the most impressive in terms of the attacking pattern, and the Phantom Paladin the hardest to catch. The only thing the author should improve are the sounds, as some of them are taken from the vanilla game. Do you remember the corpse, much better mod we added earlier? Here's another mod that will improve it by adding random fallen adventurers around your world, each of whom have died in different ways. I believe both mods supplement each other beautifully, as it makes corpses a natural part of your world, things you can find around and even turn into if you die. Blaze Gear is a mod that will add more purpose around the Blaze, Ghast, and Magma Cube mobs in Minecraft. Through this crafting recipe, you can make a new type of ingot, an infernal one. This ingot is the main ingredient you'll need to craft the new Blaze Gear. The armors are more or less like the netherite equipment, plus the blaze rods floating around you. However, the tools are the most important change here. Swords can burn mobs without enchanting. However, you can still do so. Fire aspect enchantment will only make said weapons stronger, inflicting longer burn. Axes, shovels, and pickaxes are essential as they can auto-smelt any block, be it iron ores, wooden logs, or clay. This is another subtle mod that can extend exploration in the game utilizing only the vanilla content. Enhanced Boss Bars is a texture pack that will redesign the boss bars of vanilla bosses, in addition to bosses from many other mods, including mods on this very list. This is another resource pack that will help us improve the quality of what we're making here, as visuals can play a much more important role than you would think. Warriors of Past Epoch is a mod that will give our modpack a little side quest to obtain fresh new clothes, swords and daggers, muskets and pistols, along with new potions to brew. The way in which you obtain these things is by scavenging the world for new types of ores and plants, in addition to killing rats of all sorts and fighting a new mob named the Skeleton Musketeer. This mod's author is the same person behind two mods we already added on our list, Born in Chaos and Gnomus Settlements, so you can say they are very good when it comes to making RPG mods. This mod is another project that will put some of our 200 RPG mods to use. Demi's Sky Arena will add this floating structure with a sword in the middle. The idea is to activate the sword so that the battles begin. The impressive part is that A. Mobs from other mods will be summoned too, and B. You can initiate endless battles, each one harder than the one before it. I really wish more mods like this release, where other content from other mods is being used to create something new. Here we have a combination of three mods: Mowzie's Mobs, which is the base mod, Mowzie's Cataclysm, which is a mod that will allow us to locate bosses from said mod, and finally, the Mowzie's Mobs Respawner, which is self-explanatory, adding nectar items that will respawn the once defeated bosses in case you want a rematch. I used to think add-ons are not something I would want to include so frequently in my videos, but honestly, some of them can make all the difference, even helping the authors focused on adding more content instead of fixing imperfections. This next one is another texture pack, this time enhancing the GUIs, giving them a unique pixel art instead of the vanilla plain GUIs. This texture pack also happened to be compatible with some of our mods, mainly Alex's Caves, Rework, Sophisticated Backpacks, and more. The Occult is a mod that will add demonic presence to your world, with a couple of shaded structures hosting some of these demons. The production quality here is exceptional. The progression is also very compelling, as you will be able to obtain a demon blood sword, just like Finn. This mod is a tiny side quest that you can embark on occasionally as you stumble across one of these cursed structures. Guns Without Roses is a mod inspired by Terraria, and it will add a handful of armament into the game. These weapons don't require any reloading, thankfully. They can also be enchanted to improve either accuracy, fire rate, and ammo consumption. Alongside this mod, I also added a resource pack that makes the models 3D, and as you can see, it's a day and night difference. 2D models are kinda outdated at this point, so let's modernize our pack. Next up we have Macabre, a mod adding a new scary dimension consisting of flesh and blood. I gotta admit it, this author here really holds the crown for some of the most well-designed weapons. The quality blew me away the first time I tried these weapons. Their attacks are also unique and devastating. The mobs are also just as good. with a lot of details on their models, good enough textures, and great animations. The bosses are of course the most impressive in regards to the visuals, and there are 4 in total. This is yet another dimension mod that will help you enjoy a fresh experience with tons of content, all the while keeping your server's performance steady and good. RPG mod packs, including ours, sadly, are notorious for having terrible keybind management. That's why the next mod we'll be adding is KeyBind Bundles. This mod will allow you to shuffle through numerous functions on this wheel right here. Some functions are rarely used, so the friction of pulling up the wheel and searching for them won't be troublesome. In fact, quite the opposite. Recrafted Creatures is a mod adding new animals into the game. My favorite thing about this mod is how you can recruit some mobs and mount others, opening the opportunity to remain nomadic, but at the same time make use of the animals here. We already added the Naturalist mod, and honestly there are a couple of duplicate mobs, but lucky for us, Naturalist mod received a recent update allowing players to remove individual mobs, so no problem there, senor. This next mod will add new variants for the boats made using netherwood. As a result, these boats endure the lava heat and allow you to travel safely and rapidly through this dimension. We have a big nether mod coming up on this very list, so you will need all the transportation methods to explore it fully. This next mod is not only going to backport the trial chambers to 1.20.1, it will also enhance it. Amongst other shiny features, new mobs have been added, abandoned ones in particular. The author has also made changes to the structure itself, adding new rooms and new blocks to interact with. However, all of this pales in comparison to the new boss at the end. The copper giant is a tough to beat boss, and the lava in front of him only makes things worse. Bringing a slow falling potion is mandatory, and shooting from far can be more effective. I apologize for reusing old clips here. For some reason, when I revisited the mod this time around, the boss chamber was not there, so forgive my sloppiness. Anyways, the mod goes on to add new armors, 2 new weapons, one for brute force and the other for ranged attacks, in addition to new ghost horns. Excalibur is a medieval pack that will be taking care of our modpack textures. The reason I added this pack in particular is because it features many compatibility add-ons, allowing the Excalibur style to mesh well with the rest of the mods we added earlier. Not all of the mods are covered, but the add-ons are being updated constantly. Plus, the 16x16 size of the pack allows it to remain cohesive relative to the extra content within the pack. Alshanex's Familiars is a mod that I've mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it would be an inseparable part of this mod pack too. The mod will add a dozen or so minions capable of casting spells from the Iron Spells and Spellbox mod, making them a lethal weapon. The minions are relevant to our mod pack, since they can be displaced quite easily, meaning you won't have 5 or more minions following you, which preserves our nomadic theme. Mythic Mounts adds a number of fantasy creatures that you can use to travel across the world. Some of these creatures can be of help when traveling on the surface, while others are best for aerial transportation, although I'm pretty sure you will choose the latter. As established earlier, I wanted this pack to be a nomadic RPG adventure, so transportation methods are essential. This next mod will add some mythological creatures that are scattered across the world, either living individually or traveling with a pack. Some of these creatures will pickpocket you, others will hunt the cattle, some you can assemble yourself, and there is Drake. The pickpocketing mob in particular is plenty fun. It's always pleasant to have these spontaneous experiences where you are chasing a thief. IceAndFire will naturally be included in the pack. However, this mod will bring about said mod's content into the Fabric ecosystem, on top of being able to go ahead and update it to 1.1 version. That's just wonderful, because it will give us the chance of porting our mod pack into Fabric. From my experience, that mod loader is quite faster and less buggy than Forge, so for low-end users, Fabric can be a sanctuary performance-wise. Cognition is an incredibly important mod on the list. It will let you maximize the usage of XP points. Instead of being strictly for enchanting and forging, XP points will now help you power various machines and contraptions. I have to admit that this is contradictory to the nomadic side we're after, as it requires you to settle in one place. But be as it may, you can choose it if you want to be a nomadic player, all the while having a place you can call home. Jaden's Nether expansion is a mod that will overhaul the Nether dimension. The author labeled the mod Vanilla Plus, but I guess we can give it a leeway here as it also adds new mobs and large structures to conquer. What distinguished this mod from others is naturally the quality. The mobs in particular were fabulous to look at, fluidly animated from the bottom to the top, in addition to having unique attacking styles and usages too. This is amazing, and will help reimagine this good old dimension and make it suitable for our style. Coming up we have Eldritch End, a mod that will add 2 new biomes to the End dimension. These new biomes feature a completely different atmosphere, from different color themes to visual effects and also new materials. In regards to the mobs, it depends on the biome. The Historian Wastes is a pretty safe place to dwell. Primordial Abyss, on the other hand, not so much. Many other aspects are to be noted too, like the boss fight, but I'll keep this section relatively small. You get to discover the details for yourself, friend. Enhanced Celestials will balance out difficulty and prosperity, adding a couple of new lunar events to the game. There will be nights where food is plentiful and life is relatively easy. Conversely, Blood Moon nights are going to be one of the most brutal days of the year, with hostile mobs spawning left and right and their spawning frequency being so high you can barely sleep. This is a very popular mod, but this does not disqualify it to be here. Some insanity is much needed in packs like ours. Dawn of the Flood is a mod adding a collection of tough parasitic creatures. The special about this mod is that it is filled with content, yet it retains a super high quality. Part of the reason being the amount of people working on the project. Dawn of the Flood is inspired by the game Halo. I have not played the title myself, but I've heard some good reviews about it. My favorite part about this mod are the weapons. The authors have developed complex models and advanced animations and sound quality for these weapons, especially the melee ones. I really don't know if this mod is suitable for our mod pack, as it holds the entire lore of the pack, with parasites multiplying and taking over the world. So I'll keep it disabled for now. Mix Energy is one of the last mods on this list. It will add a stamina system that disallows you from sprinting for so long. Other activities are also going to be limited as your stamina bar drains. This is a great addition because it will add dependency on the transportation mods we added earlier, making them viable and not obsolete. And the final mod we have on the list is Traveler's Titles. This is a wonderful mod that will pop up a text telling you what biome you've just entered. On its own, the mod already has a solid amount of compatibility with other mods. However, I'll add a couple of extra resource packs which extends the compatibility even more, in addition to one in particular which improves the visuals altogether. Thanks for watching. I've already released 4 more episodes in the past, so be sure to check them out. Also, special thanks to Wise Hosting for sponsoring this video. Modpack will take some time to be out, so please be patient. I'm trying to make it stable, enjoyable, and worth your time. I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.